Yeah! Hello and welcome to this ranked 1v1 cast between Bibbels playing as 76Y and he's up against Atla playing as 76Y. So it's a 76Y mirror game. We're on this map, my favorite map of all time. Two Lakes Duel. Basically, red has a much better time of it than blue for a few reasons. Said this loads of times, but Leonid is kind of easy to attack from Emma. You go from here to here to here. You could even walk in. Whereas Anna is really not easy to attack from Emma, and similarly, Sign is really not easy to attack from Olga, and Papa's not easy to attack from Olga. So this is the most easily exposed zone, and that is bad for blue. Also, the roads are totally messed up and they just refuse to fix it. I'm convinced they just find it funny, honestly. So red can get into Olga first and can get into Emma first with forward deployment. So we see this. In fact, he should be unloading a little bit further in. Red will get to Olga first and it will get to Emma first. Whereas blue will get to Emma second and it will get to Olga at the same time as red does. It sort of gets here, I suppose. Well, we'll see. But basically, this is supposed to be red zone, and this is supposed to be blue zone, but actually red can attack blue zone a lot easier than blue can attack red zone. So the main, one of the strategies that you can do if you're on the weaker side, as Bibbels is you go absolutely hard in on Emma, and you try and take Emma at the start, because you know that your enemy is going to attack Olga, and you know that, you know, once you get pushed out of Olga, you, just run across an open field and die. So it's all in on Emma, and certainly we do see that here. So we see Zenichiks, which are just little cars with igloos on them. I personally think they're not great, but for an opener like this, it can be useful because you got to buy a transport anyway, and it's nice to have a second igloo. Like, it's all in. You're all in. You don't have time to wait for it to sell or anything, so it's good to have a transport that can contribute to the all-in push. So it makes sense. So he's got 6 igloos basically, because the Zenichiks also have igloos on them with same accuracy, etc. Then he's got 2 forward deployed SPG-9s, which he's put to there. I mean, that's a bit aggressive. You can just leave them in here, and then they can shoot all the way down the road. They can shoot all the way down the road there. So you put one there, and you put one there, and you should be all right. And then he's got 2 Spetsgrupper, one of which is on the wrong road. Basically, you want to attack, like, attacking this road's actually faster than coming down here. So he should have them all on this road and be attacking this road. And then he's got 2 BMD3s. So one of them he has left here to look down there. So then you wonder what the SPG-9s are for. And the other one he's moved around here, which is intelligent, because if red gets to here, you can't reinforce your push. If he gets to here, which obviously he does do, he can stop this road, which is why attacking this road is easier. So you need to try and take this if you're blue. He's got some more guys, so I'm pretty sure forward deployed from the red side gets here before it gets there from the blue side, but I'm not entirely sure. So he's got an SPG-9, a Conkers, which makes sense. Recon, that makes sense, SPG-9, which makes sense for the opener. Then he's got a couple defending units here, so 1 SPG-9. I'll be honest, I think that could probably make it up to here. And 1 Metis squad, which he's left here, but could probably go to here. But if there's an SPG-9 car coming the other way, he might lose it, so I can understand why he's put it there. 1 Spetsgrupper A going to Olga, so he's not given up on it entirely. And he's going Paul and then over here, which is, because I guess because he wants to go Leonid Emma. I disagree with that. I think he should have a second CV. There's a few reasons for this. So when you're doing your all-in push, you might only be in there for a few minutes before you get pushed out. So you need a CV in there while you're in there to make it worth it. Otherwise, it was a massive waste of time. So he should have had a second CV here and gone Leonid Emma, preferably like an infantry CV, because this thing is not great for 90 points. It's very weak, very easy to kill. But yeah, he's going Paul and then all the way over, presumably. Like, the other thing you can do is buy 2 and go Paul, Olga, and Leonid Emma, and you've got 1 Spetsgrupper here to defend. Furthermore, he's not brought the Proto SAS, the Spets something. Let's see if this guy's brought it. He hasn't. So the best unit for 76Y is one that no player has brought. Maybe they'll bring it later. It's basically like an SAS. They've got igloos, right, and they've got guns. So you could get them in the town, and then you don't have to worry about, like, you don't have to bring these two. You just bring 3 of those. They are a lot more expensive, but they're also recon. Can't remember if they've got a satchel or a rocket launcher, but they definitely have one of those. No, it's an SVD. It's SVD, Igla, guns, and then maybe a machine gun. Either way, DMRs are broken, so you want to be bringing the SVD. Neither team's brought it. So switching to Atla's deployment, we got Descent Razvedka going over there. Okay, he is rushing this down because he will get there first, and he's also bringing the Zelensky, and it's weird because the game says it's an IFV when it's not. It's wheeled, so it shouldn't have that icon really. It's a shame, but whatever. So yeah, they're going there, and he is actually going for this. We'll see. I mean, the enemy's taken quite a... Well, yeah, we'll see. I mean, obviously there's a BMD3 there. Sorry, I thought I was having a nosebleed then. Weird. And, yeah. Just edit that part out. Right, so we've also got... you know, big people here. Spetsgrupper, Conkers, Pomachiki, Saperi Apio. Don't really see the point of these, because there are only 5 men, whereas Spetsgrupper, you know, I mean, this is quite expensive for what it is, but yeah, maybe it can work. And two, I mean, I could appreciate sending this recon there. I guess having one here would be cool. And an Igla, but yeah, no AA. So maybe Blue's going to buy some planes and hurt him. And a BMD3 going over there, which makes sense, try and cut the reinforcement roads. And this forward deployed CV starts in Anna, whereas the forward deployed CV on this side would not start in Leonid, and this one does not start in Paul, but they both opened one CV. So we'll cast the game, and we'll do it from this perspective. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners, generously bankrolling the channel. They get the names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos. Great way to support the channel. If you don't want to pay money, please just like the videos and comment on the videos. I say it every time because it matters every time. The more likes a video gets, the more YouTube recommends it to more people. Same with subscribing. Half of you aren't subscribed, and over half of you aren't subscribed, and it just makes YouTube recommend the channel to more people. If you don't want the notifications, you can subscribe and still switch off the notifications. So you'd just be helping me out for free, basically. So the SPG-9s did get some. And now they should stay on that road. So, like, look, they're taking out the track. So he's letting them auto evac, and they're all going down that road and dying. So that's 60. Oh, okay. So it's 60 points there that are never coming back, and maybe even more. Wow, 20, 40, 60. Oh, there's one there. Yeah, it was 60. Schmel out on this side to just scout things, and yeah, this isn't. I don't think this is going to work, really. I mean, it might do. No, it definitely isn't. And you see that even though Blue is in this zone, he gets nothing for it. He gets nothing for it because he doesn't have a CV. And he's not bothered to counter cap Olga. Like, Atla should have had 2 CVs as well if he was trying this. He should have got one in here. So his guys are slowly going to get pushed out because he's not secured this, so the enemy can get reinforcements in. He's bought a bomber, which I don't think was the play, and certainly the fact that he's not going for the Spetsgrupper is kind of weird. But oh, actually, whoa, they've run into it and die. So there you go. Yeah, a top play from Bibbels. Atla sadly running into the path of the enemy and dying there. And yeah, so he's got to get the CV in there as fast as possible, and obviously on this side, Atla should win this fight because there's literally nobody here, and get this over to there. The Spetsgrupper should be going house to house, really. Otherwise, this Spetsgrupper will beat that in a one-on-one. But this can obviously chime in and swing that fight. And yeah, he's still not sent in the CV. He's getting there now, though. This building can't see down there, and he's got no reinforcements coming because he just keeps buying planes. So I'm not so sure about this. Although he might get that that BMD-3. You know, he's basically spent 2 minutes income on planes, and he does get that BMD-3. And the Iglas, like that one can't bend fast enough, so that was always going to miss. And Bibbels is pushing through here. He's actually done a decent job with the all-in, but obviously he's lost Olga for it. But yeah, I think I mean, the planes have kind of worked out for him, but it's very risky to do that. Imagine if instead he'd spent his first minute's income resecuring this. He wouldn't have lost that zone. And Atla really just doesn't like buying CVs. And and he definitely could have opened with one here, into Olga, but I think Bibbels is going to be winning because Sign hasn't been taken. So this misses its second missile, which you would expect, and it evacs, which you would also expect. And it got hit, which happens eventually. And yeah, like Bibbels, he needs to have people on the edge of this zone, otherwise these guys can just drive in. And he's finally bought this, but yeah, that's the problem with buying air. So he killed a BMD-3 here, but he lost the zone anyway, and he missed this one, and so it just wasn't worth it. What he should have done is got some more BMD-3s here, and you know, moved up here, killed that, and got the Conkers up to here, because as long as the enemy can reinforce, you're stuck. For Atla's point of view, I was quite surprised that he lost this zone, I guess because he did have less units there because he had him over here, and he got hit by that SU bomber, right? So that can explain it. Rather than buying loads and loads and loads of Iglas all the time, you could just buy a MiG-31 and just keep that up. That's certainly a good idea, you know, rather than all these Iglas. But yeah, the Spetscrupper should really be fronting the edge of the town, and if they get shot, they can fall back a little bit, but like if there was one here, you'd be killing all that. And yeah, I think Atla's main priority should be securing the corners, particularly this corner, because yeah, even from there, he can cut the reinforcements. He can cut the reinforcements, right? So this is probably going to die. He does unload it, and he does lose it. And these guys should be pulling back now, really, because that infantry would win that fight because it's got more HP. But yeah, Atla could push into this. He probably thinks there's an infantry there, but this is so close. Oh no, Spetscrupper died in the transport. That was like the one that mattered. Really expensive unit. Losing that was not great. Descent Razvedka goes down, of course, because you know, it's a two-man squad. There's reinforcements here now. This Conkers is in a good place. It's just a shame the recon's gone. I think if it was in here, this wouldn't actually be able to see it because look, it's blue. It's got that blue line. It means it can't see things that are stationary in that forest. But Bibbels needs to hold this area, and he could have done that if he'd put the Spetscrupper here. It would be blowing all that up round about now. You know, here, 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 here. Although it's only 500 meters range. It would give the enemy cause for concern. So he's gone for Conkers there, but he's going to struggle to reinforce this. And of course, you know, Atla got this zone because of what we spoke about before. So it looks like Bibbels is winning, but he's not. he's been outpositioned, and now his infantry is going to get chewed up by autocannons, and the enemy can freely bring reinforcements in, whereas he can't. And with the Metis here, you know, all these roads in are covered now, so it's going to get harder and harder for Bibbels, I'm afraid. And Atlas finally. Oh no, it's just the same CV, you now sent it back there. So the Spetscrupper are falling back. I think this one will probably die. Because of the, you know, it's only got 1 HP. Like, he needs to fall back again, I feel. It's only got 2 HP. So this is probably the one from before. And it might get a kill, but it takes 9 seconds to land. And as long as you just, you know, yeah, it's just fine. What I am surprised by is that instead he bought these 2 planes, he could have got... Oh no, actually, he's bought another one. He really... I mean, you'll notice that Red just has way more stuff, and that's because he's buying ground units, whereas Bibbels is just buying air. That's 3 minutes worth of air. And if you look at these point costs, 40, 80, more, right? So all of this is about 260 points. It's about a minute's income. But and so Atla's got, you know, like 18 extra units, basically. Because he's not bought any planes. Obviously, he's bought a fighter now, which was a good idea given the amount of planes. But he flies it straight over the enemy igloos and dies rather than keeping it at a safe distance. It was quite unlucky, though. He literally got hit by all 3 igloos there. It was really unlucky. Oh, actually, there's 4, so maybe it makes a bit more sense now. And, yeah, Bibbels is forced to pull back, and I think Atla's going to be on a +2 tick here momentarily, because here comes the CV. And, well, okay, it'll be +1 if this goes a meter forwards, which it hasn't done. And, yeah, that was weird. So he's bought another one, and he really needs to leave this back here. Well, I mean, once you've passed over the enemy A net, you might as well keep going for him. That was really bad micro. Like, he already passed over the igloos, and then he turned away. But now he's passing back over the igloos. This could be going any worse, really. But oh, the SU evacs that way, and then that brings him over here without going over the igloos. So, yeah, +2 to Atla. I don't really see what blue is supposed to do about this. He could run a bunch of infantry in, but as long as red holds the sides. He's been pushed off this one, but he's got Conkers here. So the roads are sort of covered. There goes the CV, which was slightly outside the zone anyway. And that's a +2 to Atla. So, yeah, I'm not sure what happens next. I mean, it looks like blue is just going to constantly try and run back in here and lose guys. Certainly, like, without the fire support. Like, this is fire support, I guess, but... And the Metis do... well, how much armor does that have? 3. Okay, so the Metis does one-shot... Does one-shot that because it's got 17 heat pen, which means it one-shots a 3 armor vehicle. So Metis is a good counter to BMD3. So are bundles of sticks because they've got more range. But this was a ranked game, so they don't know. They don't know what they're going to be up against. So, you know, if you knew what div you were up against, you would swap out the Conkers for a bundle of sticks, and then because there's nothing heavier than 3 armor in this division. So the bundle of sticks does it just fine, and it's cheaper. You save a lot of money. And it one-shots anything anyway, so there's no point in the Conkers except the range and the accuracy. Which can be useful, but generally the bundle of sticks does it as well. And this is just infantry running across a field into infantry that has a building, so they take 50% reduced damage. So, artillery purchased. I think the half-grads would have been more useful than the Nonas here. BMD3 beats BMD2, so sort of predictable. And yeah, if he gets to here, he can sort of cut the reinforcements, but he's falling back, so he's giving it up. He doesn't know what's in there. Yeah, he needs his fire support to engage. But yeah, the half-grads would have been way more useful against the town because they just do more damage. I bring mine at 2 vet, and then I put a CV next to them, and then they're at 3 vet, and then they fire really, really fast. And you can just constantly saturate these towns. Very, very useful on this map. The Nonas are really not that great, mainly because the splash. So the way damage artillery works in this game is either you direct impact somebody and you do 0 damage, or you miss by a little bit and you do full damage. And the lower the caliber, the tighter that circle is that you've got to get a direct impact hit on. So, because these are 120s, they're significantly harder to hit things with than 155s. The other problem with the Nona is it's got a 6 salvo length. Usually people move after, like, the second round. So, yeah. And another thing is, I mean, obviously that BMD3 fired first there. Bibbels needs to put a unit in here and just stop this from happening. And similarly, Atla needs to put a unit in here to stop Bibbels from putting a unit in here, because as long as Atla can resupply this freely, he's gonna win. Because Bibbels has to cross open ground and get shot by this Conkers, whereas Atla, that missed there. Atla can just freely walk in through here. So you've always got to aim to cut the enemy's reinforcements. This will be one from before, most likely. And, I mean, they've fallen back, so I think you'll probably still get them, because it drops in a big, long line, and yeah, you got them both. And, yeah, I just... You know, for the price of this, he could have got 2 half-grads. I've noticed his opponent is also bringing Nonas. Don't sleep on the half-grads. I used to say they're terrible, but they had their aim times... Well, the aim time of the regular grad went up, and the aim time of the half-grad didn't. So the half-grads now aim and reload time. I think it was just a reload time, actually. The half-grads upvetted reload really, really quickly, and you can very quickly saturate a small area like this. Yeah, so Atla buying the Mussolini, which are really good. So that makes a lot of sense. Another thing he could do is get an infantry CV in here and buff his guys. I mean, if you're fighting a fight like this, that's probably worth it. Here we go, Bibbels is cutting the reinforcements now, so he's got an AA with it as well. All of those are going to whiff. And yeah, he needs to get to here. Get to here. He needs to cut those reinforcements, so you can't really do it from here. You could scare the enemy. I suppose if you get right to here, you can. It's a shame if they'd been a little bit faster there, these poor Machiki wouldn't have made it in. Poor Machiki fight with the strength of like 11 men, because one machine gun is just over 2 rifles worth of damage. But yeah, the issue with sitting in this corner is people can get in here and chuck rockets at you. That is just outside of range. BMD3 can't see that, apparently. Oh, he's moving up to the next building where he will be able to fire. So this is probably dead now. Ooh, 15 pen. Not enough to one-shot 2 armoured vehicle. It hit on the side armoured there. And now he's getting hosed, but these are all firing. They need to kill the poor Machiki, really. And, yeah, I'm very disappointed in both players for bringing Nonas instead of the half-grads for this exercise. I think that's a big waste. I imagine half-grads on that, but wow. A lot of red just died there. So Atla's still on the +2. Blue needs to buy a CV, but I guess he's just going for full control. And also, instead of... he's done a good job here, but now, like, yeah, this is the issue with pushing out over it. You get hit by air and stuff. These are actually out of Conkers. Yeah. So... You know, you could put it here. Obviously, BMD versus BMD. BMD's going to win. Like this one's obviously going to lose because it's 2v1 there. And it's out of rounds. It's out of ATGMs. So, yeah, the Nodas should be killing this. And trying to move up this way. The Schmel is a nice idea, but I think the Igloos are going to kill it. Yeah, it was a nice idea, like, cutting the reinforcements. And I did sort of say you should come over here, but I think over here is actually a much better idea, because you can cut the reinforcements, and you can also retreat the forest. Whereas if you're here, you're very exposed when moving across that. You can also go here, but then the enemy kills you here, so what you do is you get one of these Mussolini and you put him here, and then you can sit in that little corner, and you can shoot. But yeah, the Nonas aren't doing anything on either side. They're good for smoke, right? I still bring a card, because what if you have to smoke something? They're better than the Vasilek. Vasilek's are useless. Vasilek used to be really good. Well, it wasn't. It's just, it used to have 0 dispersion, so all the rounds would land on one thing, and mortars didn't used to have a tracer, so you couldn't see them. So you just be hit by the laser beam of death. It go, and then they nerf the mortar trajectory, so it goes like this, and they refuse to fix that. And they increase the dispersion, and then they increase the price, even though it's useless. And I saw the price go up again. It's a really bad instrument. But Balance Man knows best. So Bibbels, you know, he's managed to push back in this. I'm not sure how. I guess it's because Atla bought that plane. And also, you know, the BMD3s, when they came across here, they raked the side of the town, and they actually killed a lot of guys. The guys could have fallen back to here or something, but instead they were killed here. And you know, with the buildings going down, you can shoot quite far across there. So I do apologise. Meta's coming over here, and that's a very dead transport. Just imagine if somebody had brought some half-grads. Half-grad this, bam, 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 bam. Everybody dies, you know? But here we go, Bibbels getting the CV up, and now he'll take this zone. But all of that just to neutralise, you know? Now he's still got to find 600 points somewhere. He's also not sent it in yet. He's also not sending it in. So it's going to be more than 600 points. So yeah, you know, that this Conkers should be in one of these buildings, really. That's a good one. But generally, you want to try and get him up to here. And you really need to sweep this as well. You can't let the enemy sit there. But yeah, now Bibbels has the opposite problem, right? Where he's just getting hit by BMDs and he's losing his guys. I mean, they need to be going. This guy there needs to be supply moved up. The CV needs to be in here. He has put a Conkers back here, which is intelligent. You could also move it up to here and then send the Mussolini forwards, covered by the Conkers. The sus is good. I like the use of the sus, but you know, the sus could be one of the sus could be moved forwards. Nonas from both sides have run out of ammo because it's got 6 salvo length and it only has 18 rounds. So you only get 3 salvos before you need ammo. Something to keep in mind. He's unloaded that on the spot and should now move it to a different building, because if the enemy was paying attention, he would see that blossom from that pine and know where he is. But he has not. Schmel's back out. I mean, the English should get it, but it'll probably get some recon first. And there you go. Bibbels manages to stabilize. And now what? Now I guess he's got to go for Olga. But like, there's no way he's making it down to here. Not against 76Y Air with BMDs. So that Schmel's just scouted everything, and everybody's missing. So now all of these need to move one building to the right or one building to the left. You need to do that, otherwise you get hit by artillery. Everything should move slightly. It's obviously a total pain in the neck, but it does need to happen. Like, look, they're getting hit. I wonder how. So, yeah, 20 minutes left, and I think I can't really see Bibbels taking another objective. I mean, this... Yeah, it looks like he's... the only place he could really go with all this is down here, and he's not going to get through that into 10 trillion ATGMs, especially if he's not got the half-grads and he's relying on the Nonas. It's just not going to work. If he had the half-grads, he might be able to kill the Conqueror's position slowly. But what he should be doing, instead of buying 20 million BMD3s, or in addition to buying 20 million BMD3s, is get an Igler and a Mussolini, a couple of them, and send them, and a CV, and send them all the way down here and into here. And actually, coming across the open field is a great way to die, basically. As you can see, lots of ATGMs flying around. Wow. That's a very alive guy. He's very upset about that, apparently. Was that MiG-31? The BMD will probably survive. Oh, okay. Bomb landed right on its head. Sort of the same thing with bombs. If it misses by a little bit, it does way, way, way less damage than if it directly hits. It makes them very inconsistent, basically. You see this huge explosion, and then nothing. That's probably dead. Yeah. And he needs to employ the grads and stuff, you know, and also he's weak here. Like, if I was red, well, if I was red, I would just be full on defense right now, trying to hold off the tide. And like, look, this has killed so much, and I don't know if he can't see it or if he doesn't want to. So he's killed 2, and now you've lost all your smoke, but you had to do that, otherwise you'd lose it. So very, very difficult for blue to push down here. What I'd like to see red do is just put a couple close range in. Like, the fact that neither player is using this is really strange to me. If blue wants to take this, this is the easiest way. If red wants to hold it, he should have a guy here, right? And then you can also push them up and start shooting them in the side. Neither player gets helicopters, right? 76Y, no helicopters. Nonas finally deal with that, but they're 6 salvos, so they're just going to keep shooting. And it's really weird to see no LGBT from either player either, given that that's their strongest bomber. Certainly these thermobarics aren't as good as the HE, but you only get 1 card of the HE, so it looks really nice, but they're just not as good because So basically it ignores cover, which means it does double damage to units in buildings, but it deals just over half the damage anyway. So it's not actually dealing that much more damage to units in buildings, and it costs a lot more for it. So it's overpriced, and it costs more. It costs like 35 more points. So, you know, in that situation when the enemy missile fires first, you just gotta smoke them back, because you know, you're not gonna get lucky. Not into 260% accuracies. So Schmel put here, and that's probably gonna use the guns on it, right? Guns on this are not very good. And yeah, both players just trying to annoy the enemy as much as possible. Bibbels, you know, he's trying. It's really weird that he's not using this forest, though. Like, that's... Yeah, you need to get some AA, get a BMD3, get some infantry, get them all over here, then put them in these houses, get the BMD3s along the wall, smoke, CV. Like, advancing across the open, you're just playing the enemy's game, really. You're just constantly going to be subject to this. And that's a lot of AA. I feel like he probably could have got like 2 MiG-31s and maybe... I mean, it'd probably be the same price, actually. Yeah, never mind. So, he's road-pilled. He's based and road-pilled. Just can't survive without his roads. This fired first, so we'd expect a kill. And we see Atla making the correct decision there and noping out. But now this is going to die. Oh, miss, but stunned. This is probably going to get it. Yeah, down it goes. So, really weird to see no half-grads from either player. I mean, imagine if you were red here and you just half-grad. There it goes. And then when red had half the town and blue had this little bit, half-grad. It's all dead. This is my annoying new half-grad. It reloads like every 17 seconds. There we go. Aim time 17 seconds. The reload is higher. If you bring it at 2 vet and then put a CV next to it, like this doesn't do anything, put that next to it. Reload time goes down to about 30, 40, but yeah, the aim time 17 or less. So you can put rounds downrange really fast, and the Nona is very bad. You really only need it for the smoke, and if you really don't have a choice. And it's just strange to me that Bibbels just runs across the field with his infantry. You got this nice, lovely forest here. Nice, lovely forest to protect yourself. Because the enemy's just going to keep buying IFEs and stuff. So he's actually trying something here just to spot... I mean, certainly, given where it is, if you've got bombers off cooldown, like the LGBT, if you spot enemies, you can just 1, 2, 3. Because you can drop them all separately with this LGBT. It's an extremely diverse LGBT. Obviously, you got to watch out for the MiG-31s always, but yeah, the Nonas are out of ammo again, and it's like, you know, you need the smoke, really. You want to advance, so you can smoke this. Here we go. Alright, you might get this one. Kind of a weird place to use it. Surely these guys are what you want to be killing. This tiny little area here. That TRM baiting out the MiG-31. Bibbels just doesn't want to buy one. I mean, I really think he should get one. It would really help his air spam. Like, he's probably going to lose that HE bomber now. Alright, I mean, it's a mirror match, right? So you can't say anything. But yeah, I mean, do these guys not know about this? Did they just not see it? This would be so useful. Like the igloos especially, you get them on the tree line, you move them down, you put some BMD3s in there, you can rake across. They just don't know. They don't know. But yeah, desperate defense from Atla. He is slowly being pushed out here. And yeah, whenever you use this, you always need to have a supply with it immediately. AT2 gets a couple there. Gets 2. It's got high accuracy, and yeah, Bibbels getting things done. I mean, obviously these need to move forwards a little bit, and these need evacing. This only has 4 HP, so he's got to be careful. And the MiG-31s are back, but he keeps flying over the igloos. He really wants to fly over those igloos every time. You know, you could just leave it here. Here we go. He's finally bought one of his own. He's bought the bad one. He must have misclicked. This one is way better than this one, because look at the missiles. And they cost the same. This has an 8 HE missile as a secondary. Strongest fighter in the game, basically, at long range, anyway. Eagles, once you get into Eagle range, AMRAAM range, then it's not as good. So, yeah, you must have clicked the wrong one. So, you know, Bibbels' YOLO technique has now taken the second patch, but he's not moving up his guys, so this is also pretty funny. And there's no helicopter to spot that. Right, so this just needs to immediately pull back and then drop the LGBT on it, but it looks like he's not brought it. Otherwise it'd be out by now, surely. So, some smoke here would be cool. I mean, it's just... Yeah, I mean, use the trees, man. This guy's obviously not going to win this fight because building beats open ground and 5 men beats 4 anyway. You see the guns are actually the same, but these guys have more guns, so he's dead. I think he's just not looking. And this is really intelligent. He's now going to see all enemy reinforcements. He's put it on return fire as well. Bibbels needs some conkers or something. These BMDs are just killing all his stuff. Like he's run out of BMDs. And look, they're just killing all his infantry. Like he could... I guess that's not actually being shot. This wasn't on return fire, so it's been spotted now. If this moved up a little bit, it'd be able to kill it. Yeah, this is pathable territory. I don't know if anybody saw that. I don't know if I mentioned that already. This is pathable territory here. So, something to keep in mind. Looks like he's going to sneak that round. That's pretty funny, actually. I mean, there really should have been... Obviously, there are some blocking units, but yeah, one recon thing here. Or here, even. Certainly stop that. So, yeah, Blue, I mean, he's got the CV now. That's also coming down the road. He is extremely road-pilled. This doesn't have any conkers left. There are planes, though. This might die to a plane. The enemy can tell if it's got C... I was going to say, he's going in the forest! He's not. He's going in that little patch of trees. So with 10 minutes left, and the MiG-31's up, so... yeah. So yeah, smoke it and go in. I mean, obviously this is a problem. Yeah, it looks like this is going to get in, because there's no defense, and then he can't really do anything about it, because he doesn't have helicopters. So he would have to manually move all this back and buy another CV. And with there only being 9 minutes left, and he's sort of losing anyway, it's not ideal. So, looks like this is going to get in. It's a shame about that half grad, like it only fired once. Could have fired a lot by now. Using the guns on this is sound if there's no enemy AA, and there isn't. And this guy finally went in the forest. Incredible. And I don't think he's noticed this, because these should have immediately be pathed over there, right, and like, this could be sent back there, but yeah, it looks like it's going to be +2 to Atla again. And, yeah, I don't know, man. I think, like, Bibbels, he did a great job pushing through here, but he certainly could have made it a lot easier for himself. And Atla could have defended a lot more easily if he'd had a couple of units in here. Like, nobody'd be coming down that road. He'd have to clean the whole thing out. You just pop out and shoot, go back in, pop out and shoot, go back in. But yeah, this has been intelligent, and I really do think Bibbels has not noticed at all. Yeah, he's clearly not, because look, he's still pathing him over here. He's just not noticed. Plane's going down there. Well, with only 8 minutes left. Yeah, that would have had one more volley in it, which it now doesn't have, so that is a problem. He's not noticed. I mean, yeah, what can I say? He's not noticed. He's not reacting to it. He finally got in here. Blood, sweat, and tears. There were much easier ways to do what he did. But yeah, there needs to be a Conkers here, really, because the Metis can't... although there's no recon here. And this is probably going to get in, because there's nothing... Like, these can't see that either. Just the way they've been placed, both on top of each other, doesn't really cover the zone well. Like, one of them should be here, really. And one of them can be there to cover that road, so... So there you go, the tick has stopped. He's still not... Oh, he's noticed now. He's noticed now. But yeah, he's not got any helicopters, so it's actually very difficult to deal with this at 76Y. Furthermore... Oh, okay, that's obstructed. If he'd put it here, this would be dead. Because that basically, grain silos can see further than atheists. So if you're an atheist, you can only see this far. But if you're a grain silo, you can see a lot further. So farmers can see a lot further than atheists. So you should have put it in the farm instead. So you'd expect the 7-man team to win. So Atla's just trying to buy time by running away. And now he's taken this one, which puts him on a +4. And he's actually moving it out, which is... I don't really think there's any point in that. But, yeah, I would just leave it in there. I mean, sure, you're going to get it out. Maybe it's necessary. I guess he's trying to go for this one. But yeah, it's very difficult for 76Y to deal with this. Like, obviously, Bibbels managed to take this, or at least half of it. Having said that, you know, this really shouldn't be allowed to exist. He's got full vision on it. That didn't manage to drop its bombs. It's weird how he's... Like, Atla's brought the correct AA plane. Look, this has got 2 8HE missiles, whereas this has 1 4HE missile, and they cost the same. They have the same availability, the same veterancy. It's just, one's better. So, that CV finally died. And, you know, Bibbels, if the match went on for 10 minutes longer, I think he'd win. Because he's going to be on a +4 once all this is sorted. But and if Atla hadn't done that, Bibbels would have won. So fair play. You know, you got to use... Like, this is a very narrow map. There's really no excuses for letting somebody through your back line. That's the playable area there. And so letting somebody through your back line is... you know, you've also got the Schmel to recon it. There's no excuses, really. Good to see the half-grad fire again. This is obviously a great place to half-grad. These guys have smoke too. I really need to stop doing that thing where I bite my top lip. It's just... Because it's winter, my lips are dry and, I don't know, just itchy. So, you know, Bibbels in command. He's going to be on +4, but I think given the time, I think... Actually, I don't know. I mean, if I was red, I would be using my Nonas, which appear to be dead, to smoke this corner so that I can leave a CV in here and just be trying to buy time. I mean, certainly this was a good time-buying stratagem. Well, if at first you don't succeed. But yeah, blue could definitely do with, you know, sorting this out. And it's just really strange that neither player bothered to... oh, if that had hit, this wouldn't have got in. Gameplay. This is out of ammo, though. And the Nonas are out of ammo, too. They could have been used. Half-grads would have been great here. Many such cases. But yeah, I think a +2 is not sufficient. I think a +4 would be, to be honest. I think a +4 would be. And, like, certainly, like, he knows that's there, right? So if he just moved this up to there, which he's now doing. Okay, so he doesn't know exactly where it is. Like, this Spetsnaz Gru could be put to this corner. It might be able to see it a bit better. Kind of weird. The game says he can see it, but... 3 minutes left. I don't think +2 is enough. I think he needs +4. We'll see, I mean, maybe he can break back in here. You'll notice that these guys don't have AT. Like, if he just sent that forwards, it wouldn't die, and then he could send everybody else. Like, he can't afford to be unloading stuff here. It all needs to go... Oh, he's doing it. Okay, great. So, pretty close, but, you know, this needs to go down, basically. Yeah, without the... Okay, so he sees it now. Without the ammo in the Nonas, you see he's attacked it, and now it's going to drive forwards and try and use its gun on it, because it's out of main ammo. So what you can do to stop that from happening is disable this weapon by clicking on it, and then your attack moves won't... It's the same with heavy howitzers. If they've got a PKT on them, or a 50 cal or something, you see that happen a lot. So This guy needs to smell you later and just get in there with the CV. Like the CV needs to be with him. There's no time for this. There's really no time for this. No time for him to stun his own guys. Like the BRDM Conquer should just be going in first, literally just to see like what's going on. Yeah, he shouldn't really have unloaded there. There's just no time. There you go. So somebody actually did have an LGBT. That's interesting. And yeah, the Nona's trying to direct fire it. I don't think this is going to get in now. Although, yeah, I mean, it really shouldn't. So, yeah, Blue, if only he'd played a little bit faster, I think he would have solved it. And the Nonas just ran forwards and died, as we spoke about. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Surely this kills that. No, it missed. And now he's just going to get in, and it will immediately neutralize it. I mean, he's got smoke. He should use the smoke. That's surely why he brought that unit. And there you go, neutralized. So even if he dies now, which will take a few seconds, it actually takes ages to recap the zone. Yeah, so, you know, Bibbels, he's going. I would honestly pass down to sign. You know, got a minute. But yeah, this is pretty funny. I mean, so when this dies, you'll see that the zone... What the flip? He moved buildings, and now he can't see it. He needs to get in this grain silo. The grain silo's blocking him. If only he was a religious person, he'd be able to see further. Or if he was a farmer. But instead, he's just ran behind this, and now he can't see it, so... He's not going to get enough points. He needs points. He needs points. And like, imagine if instead of sending those Nonas forwards, he'd had them here. The Gaz resupplied them. Get a couple shells on that. Maybe you kill it. Damn. That went down to the Spec Scrupper. The Spec Scrupper's probably going to kill all this, actually. This guy's been left behind. A lot of panicking going on here. MiG-31. Oh, he does have the AA one. He just... Yeah, I figured. He just bought the wrong one first, basically. You know, people see 2 and they think higher number better, but it's actually, in this case, the other way around. I can't see those prices staying the same, though. So, that finally went down. So, it's going to be a +4 for Bibbels. Like, there's no CV coming over here. So, even if this guy dies... Oh, that got routed. There you go. So GG. GG to Atla. Pretty funny game. Similar kills on both of them. Yeah, Atla is a player in the game. And Bibbels is ranked 75. So he's a very good player. Yeah, what can I say? Tends to play Pact. I've not played him personally. Don't know if he's reset this. So yeah, interesting game. Interesting game. Obviously, when we can see everything, it's easy to criticize. But yeah, the half grads should have been some half grads. Should have been some half grads. They should fix the map, but they're not going to do it. They're just going to keep taking other maps out the rank pool for being imbalanced, while leaving the most imbalanced map in the ranked pool. But look at that. Look at those SPG9s at the start. Definitely paid for themselves. Like, Atla didn't get a kill until a minute into the game. And yeah, I think if Bibbels had held off a bit on the planes early and bought a few more ground units, I think he would have done alright. Buy the planes later, basically. Get the planes later. Get them half grads. Anyway, do please let me know what you think, and I'll see you around.